The new 8 o'clock on CNN. Parker Spitzer, weeknights on CNN.
Hispanics must vote. There is this absurd notion out there, and even a call by some, for Latinos to boycott the 2010 midterm elections, to punish the Democratic Party that did not pass immigration reform, and definitely not to support a Republican Party that's embracing a Tom Tancredo anti-immigration, xenophobic, nativist rhetoric. Stay home. Absolutely not. We have to deliver. And John McCain once told me, how do you influence Washington? A deliverable constituency. I think we have the power to determine the outcome of many of these elections.
All right, let me ask you something. You have said you're clearly disappointed with the way immigration reform has gone, and you say it's somewhere between Arizona and amnesty. How do you see it?
A just integration strategy. Arizona, that's an exercise in futility. It's just absurd. Again, I speak to the Republican Party. If you're hijacked by that sort of rhetoric, you're never going to win 2012. You may win 2010 in respect to the House. Try to win the White House without Latinos in Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Florida. Good luck. It's not going to happen. It's just the party of Abraham Lincoln and Ronald Reagan, or is it the party of Tom Tancredo, James Sensenbrenner, and Pat Buchanan? They're going to have to determine that. You know, short-term viability or long-term sustainability. The Latino vote will determine that. There's an answer. It's a just integration strategy. Real simple. Let's deport the bad guys. Let's get rid of those that are committed to nefarious activity, the gangbangers, drug traffickers. Let's deport the bad guys. Why are we paying them through our taxpayer money? Why are we funding them actually in prison right now in many states across the union? Let's deport the bad guys. Let's address the other 98%. Who came here illegally, mind you. Let's prompt them to go to the back of the line. Let's make sure they learn English and demonstrate proficiency in the English vernacular. Pay fines, respect the rule of law, understand what it is to be an American, Civics 101. That's just integration. We need to address the issue of integration rather than go to the extreme of amnesty or the extreme of Arizona. Both extremes.
Okay, now here's what's interesting. You have laid out something that is sensible, right in the middle. Seems that everybody who was not just playing to a political constituency would say, yes, that makes sense. Why has that not had any traction in Washington? And has that, in fact, not been what President Obama has basically been pushing? And so why do you fault him for not succeeding, even though you know how hard it is?
Actually, in defense of President Obama, I don't agree with him in a number of public policy issues, but in respect to immigration, I agree with him wholeheartedly.
Right.
I don't blame President Obama. I blame Congress. Congress is playing volleyball with the Hispanic-American electorate, without a doubt. It was the Democratic Party that made a promise. In the first year of the Obama administration, we will pass immigration reform. We are 2 years into immigration reform, and what we have is Arizona.
Are Latinos getting more liberal because they seem to have been a natural constituency for the Republicans given the social conservatism of Catholics, Catholic Latinos? Is there a movement away from the Catholic Church to, as in your case, the evangelical church?
44% Latinos voted for Bush in 2004, and they were inclined to vote in the numbers that we went over, even with Karl Rove, actually, over 50% in 2006 is not for immigration reform. Are they becoming more liberal? No. Pew Research would say no. Are we frustrated? Yes. We're not more liberal, we're frustrated. We have a party, the Republican Party, that as it pertains to social values, life and marriage and others, really resonates with our ethos, our cultural DNA. So we have a party that looks like us that doesn't want us, or seems not to want us. Then we have another party, the Democratic Party, that in respect to some of the social values, way beyond where we're at, but they want us. So we're caught between the proverbial rock and the hard place. The Republicans look like us, or they want it. No, they don't want us. The Democrats, we're confused. We're in limbo.
I completely agree with you, and I've said repeatedly that President Obama will be reelected primarily because of the impact of the Hispanic vote. Is there any Republican candidate, potential Republican candidate in 2012 who has reached out to you saying, I can't win without you, we've got to bridge this chasm?
Well, I don't want to, let's just say, surrender any information that may, at the end of the day,
come on, nobody's listening.
Prompt a number of Facebook messages that would be, let's just say, troubling to my family. Notwithstanding, yes, there are a number of potential candidates out there that resonate. Again, in full disclosure, I'm not saying that I have had these conversations with these individuals. Maybe, maybe not. Governor Mike Huckabee really resonates with the Hispanic evangelical community, faith community. Just who he is, what he stands for, so forth and so on. There are others. The governor of Minnesota, Tim Pawlenty, wonderful, wonderful gentleman, committed to a value system that resonates with the Hispanic American community. And there are others. Newt Gingrich is actually reaching out to the Hispanic community right now. Some of these major Republican leaders understand you can't win a national election without engaging the Latino vote. But again, I look at the Republican Party and say, why in the world are you tolerating the sort of xenophobic and nativist rhetoric and the whole Tea Party idea? Here's my message to the Tea Party. Any party about chips and salsa is no party at all. Yeah, that's my message to the Tea Party. You're going diversify the Tea Party. When Latinos see 100,000 white people in Washington, D.C. and ask, where are the brown faces? You know, and is there a legitimate cause for the Tea Party? Absolutely. Frustration, overreach of government. We come from socialist governments in Latin America. We don't want to see Hugo Chavez redux in America. But we would love to see a couple of chips, salsa, café con leche, whatever it takes to diversify the Union. We need diversity in the Republican Party. And then we need a Democratic Party to move more towards the center on social values and pass immigration reform.
I'm getting a sense of your pulpit here. You must feel like the most popular young man at the dance. Everyone's courting you. Who are some of the people who have come to you?
No, I mean, I don't think it's honestly, I don't think it's about Sam Rodriguez. I'm not playing the super humble card here. I think it's just a constituency that we serve. But from both sides, from Democrats and Republicans and some of the presidential candidates you've read, and yes, they've courted us. They want to have a conversation.